Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm doing something kind of interesting. I thought I would capture it here. One of the challenges with doing graphics for games is that you need to sometimes be able to remove a lot of backgrounds or cut out frames. Say you're doing walking animation, and say you're doing this, you might be doing it by rendering it, in which case hopefully you've got an alpha channel. But if you are photographing something, or say you are drawing something, doing cell animation, and you need to create those alpha channels, that can be really tricky. It can take a really long time to do that frame by frame. So I'm going to show you an alternate method. What I'm doing here is I'm actually cutting out these elements that are going to be used for background, but it's the same principle as if I were doing walking animation. So I'm in After Effects here. I'm going to select first in this series. You can pretend these are all frames of a walk animation. They're just images that are all slightly different on the same background, a blue background. As you can see, I didn't even really get a particularly evenly lit background there, but that's alright. By doing that, I've got a sequence here, and actually, I'm going to do that again because I want to make sure to point this out. You want to have JPEG sequence checked when you're doing this, so that's going to import not just the first image in the folder, but all the images as a sequence. So this becomes a video, effectively. So I'm going to create a project, the same exact dimensions as that image and the exact length of the video that I created with that sequence. I'm going to drag that to this icon, and what that does is it gives me gives me a new sequence with or new comp with all of my frames, and each one of these frames is slightly different. So again, these could be frames of walking animation, or whatever. In this case, they're just a lot of images that I want to cut out of background. So there's that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and go to Effects and Keying, and I'm going to do a color range, and I'm going to key out the blue, and actually I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here, and I'm going to it's updating a little bit slowly, I think, because of the cam. Okay, I'm gonna grab the plus, and I'm just adding to the key, adding these colors to the key, broadening, ever broadening, expanding the colors that are in this key that it's keying out. Those are going to be hard to get. And zoom out. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and grab, see if I can grab this color right here. Just add that to the key. There we go. Yeah, okay, close enough. I'm now going to zoom out. And I have now properly keyed out all that background. Actually, I see a little bit of fuzziness right here. So let's get rid of that. And I see a little more fuzziness right here. Now what I'm going to do is, actually fuzziness, I'm going to adjust this until I get the key I want. So as you can see, by taking it to 0, I can really see exactly what colors are still here, and I can even go ahead and adjust this key by adding some of this to it and tightening up the key just a bit more. There we go. And now I'm going to beef up the fuzziness again. It'll start to disappear if I go too high, so I'm just going to kind of get it to a point that that is acceptable to me. There we go. Okay, and that's that. Now what I've done is I've keyed that blue out, but I've keyed it out on every frame of this animation. Okay, and so even if these frames weren't animated, I've just batch keyed every image in this entire folder of images. So even if I had a whole bunch of different objects, if they were basically lit the same and they basically had the same blue background, this would work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm ready to render it out. I'm going to come up here and make sure I'm on the bright comp, and I'm going to add that to the queue. Okay, and then I'm going to go up here and look at my settings here. Everything's on best and full quality. Click on lossless here, look at my format options. Now what do I want to do here? What I want is format sequence. I'm going to do a PNG sequence because that's just what I want to use. PNG is lossless, so I'm not going to get any JPEG compression or anything like that in there. Compress none. So this is going to give me a series of PNG images, which are, if you're not familiar, they're basically TIFFs. Same principle, but they are compressed, but they're not. It's a lossless compression. So so there's that, and just turning on the grid just to make it clear here. There's no background here, and these PNGs are going to have. They're basically going to be images with no background. They're going to be like a Photoshop layer. So if I drop that in, I'm only going to have this image here. There's not going to be a background. I'm ready to render. And make sure that you set the location that you want to render it before you hit this, because otherwise you'll never find it. All right, I'm rendering now. And what it's going to do is it's going to come and render each frame, and as it's rendering, I can actually come and watch it toss all of these into the folder. If you have a super fast computer, of course this will go super much faster. And as you can see, it's actually rendering these here now. We can actually watch it render. There it goes. So these are all the original images here, and this is one of the new images that it is currently rendering. And there it is. So that's each one of these images cut out onto well, with no background. So so that's one way you can do this now. So if I had say I was doing a stop motion animation game, which I am, and I needed to do a bunch of frames of a creature, walking around, whatever. Yeah, it would take forever to go in and do traditional bitmap editing and paint out the backgrounds. This is a way of using video editing to go in and treat it as a video and take out all those images and render it in an image sequence that can be used in the game engine. Okay, so and that's actually exactly what I'm going to be doing down the line when I get into the animation of the characters. But I just want to give you a little preview of how some of that's going to work. And currently, right now, I am working on a background here. These weird images that you've just seen that I'm working on here are for a background that was based on a piece of concept art. And if my here we go. So this is the original concept art, which you may remember, that may be familiar to you from the Kickstarter and or from the website. So what I've just you've just seen photographed were these weird little elements that are going to be used combined with these things over here, and or combined together to create these things that you see here, and kind of create that effect of these weird little formations that were in the image. And the rock bridge is another thing that I'm working on here. So there's the original art, and there's a little taste of what the rock bridge is going to look like actually in the game. So there you go. Pretty soon I'll have all that put together, and I'll get to show you something a little bit more like this when it's completed. And pretty excited. I think it's going to look great. All right, I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.